Hey guys, welcome back to another Brad Judging video, and welcome to Breakdown. This is State of Wrestling. Um, sorry, my voice is kind of not right because I think allergies or something that's affecting me. Trying to make sure I'm not talking like Japanese. My words aren't matching up with what I'm saying. But I kind of want to talk about, I don't think I did a State of Wrestling last week. So I guess this is kind of for last week and this week. So I guess the big news is Kevin Owens becoming the Universal Champion, and I did watch SmackDown last night when I got home. This is being recorded on a Wednesday, so more likely this will probably go up very, very soon. So this is being recorded on September 7th, 2016. So if you're watching this later, this is what the Raw I'm talking about the past couple weeks. But a couple weeks ago, like, it wasn't really that great, but the ending is what everybody was buzzing about. And sometimes that's all you need for a wrestling program is to kind of have an average night, and then at the end have something very, very shocking to kind of have a memorable feel. Because there was so many Attitude Era things that was like that. Like, it started, and you knew something was going to happen at the end of the Raw, and then you had an average night, and then the big thing happened at the end of Raw. You know, whether it be the milk truck, the beer truck, whatever, like, that stuff happened, I believe, at the end of Raw. So you always got something that was very shocking and water cooler, talkish at the end of Raw. And this was definitely one of those where it was like more than that. Triple H, came down, he pedigreed Roman, pedigreed Rollins, and gave a lot of indication that he was pointing at Owens, and then the talk began. And now we can only speculate what's going to happen. I mean, I would love to see something to do with NXT, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it could come to the point to where Triple H plays the heel, and he grabs all the people that came from NXT, and kind of goes after like a group of Stephanie's people. But technically, Seth came from NXT, but I don't really know if he was honestly, like, they say he was the first NXT champion, but I don't know. I just don't know. Like, they go back and I see footage on YouTube, but it's like, I don't think it was on the network when he was champion. So, in my mind, I just don't think that was NXT, to be honest. To me, NXT is, when Adrian, what the hell is his damn name? Neville? Yeah, when Neville was world champion, that's when I seen it. And I know Bo Dallas held the belt for a little bit, but I think when it debuted on the network, it was Bo Dallas and Neville meeting for that very first time and kind of building up to that point. And that's what sold everybody on NXT. And then shortly after, Bo Dallas went to the main roster. So with that being said, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we get like a Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Bo Dallas, even since he's a heel. And who else would? Maybe the Ascension, making it a five-man team, 5-on-5, and then possibly Stephanie getting people to go against them, to face them. I mean, I'm assuming like Cesaro would probably be one of them, Rollins, maybe even Reigns, and it even would come to the point to where maybe it would be the Shield and like American Alpha or something to take on them, which is kind of like people who would probably kind of turn suit or on Triple H and kind of go against the grain. But I don't know, and it kind of got me thinking just now, like, what if they did something here in the near future where they celebrated NXT and kind of because as many people are coming up from NXT, why not celebrate it and have kind of a big celebration where the NXT people are honored. Not really like a Hall of Fame because that's kind of stupid, but like maybe a pay-per-view event, bring Seth Rollins in and honor him with NXT award or something. I don't know, some kind of plaque to say like I don't even know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh gosh, y'all went crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with the whole thing. Owens is the Universal Champion. I watched this week Raw. It's very early in the morning. I'll tell you that. That's why if you see me yawning and scratching my eyes, getting ready to head to bed after I record this. So, being real with you guys. Being real. So with that being said, I do think that Owens deserves a championship. I think when he came in, he honestly could have won a championship and made a big impact. But they had to build his character up, and I think that was the good way to do it. I think him beating John Cena and then becoming IC champion twice and kind of showing that he can run with the big dogs and kind of the Kane, Big Show kind of disappearing from the screen, Ryback kind of disappearing. Well, I think Ryback's gone now. Del Rio gone now. And the rest of the main stars gone to SmackDown. I think that it kind of only let them open to having to push somebody up. And I think when I saw the Fatal 4-Way match, I originally thought this. They're going to give it to Seth, but if there was any other option that they were going to go with, it was going to be Owens. And to me, they've already gone down the Seth route. So why wouldn't they go with Owens? So in my mind, I'm just like, Owens is going to win this. And I kind of knew it. And, I was talking to my grandma. And the way I usually watch Raw is I record it and then my wife goes to bed and I watch wrestling when she goes to bed. So I never know, and I try to stay away from spoilers until I watch it because I want to be excited. I want to, whatever. And for the most part, I do, but because I don't know how the matches are going to go. So if I see a match, see who wrestles each other, I get excited or I don't get excited because I see a match that I've already seen a billion times. It's just on the show, and that's what kind of like I found out Owens won, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta watch it now. But coming into this week, I mean, comparing last week to this week was a lot better. I think it flowed better, and storylines are progressing, and that's what we need to have. We need to have storylines progressing. And the good thing about Raw in general over the past couple weeks is they've been building towards something for the most part. We'll get to that in a moment. But 8 minutes in, we are talking about the world title. So anyway, Owens is a world champion. Owens, Seth Rollins, scheduled for SummerSlam. Jericho getting in the mix. So Reigns and Owens are going to fight next week on Raw. Looking forward to that. And if Reigns can beat Owens, Reigns can beat Owens. I know I just repeated myself. Because I said Reign. That's his name. But if he can beat Owens, he'll get into the Mega Triple Threat match. I haven't watched somebody called Steven Larson. If you're in the circles, Steven Larson, I like him. I was watching some weird people like Joe Cronin show, and I'm not dissing him, but it's just not for me. I don't think it's for me because he's kind of like OTR Central, where they bash a lot of things. And OTR Central was pretty bad. And I tried to watch him the other day because he's come back now, and he has no idea. He's so much a traditionalist that he doesn't understand the wrestling is changing. And Joe Cronin is kind of like that, but he's kind of like OTRS Central. He understands what's going on, but then he wants to bash like the traditional wrestling as well and some of the story time segments. I don't know. Like Joe Kearns is weird sometimes. Like I think he just wants to say it's a bad episode to say it's a bad episode sometimes, and I just don't like that. But to say that point, they pointed out that maybe Reigns would end up facing Jericho at Clash of Champions because of the fact that they're really not going to put him in the title picture anytime soon. I don't think he's going to win the championship anytime soon. I think Owens is going to hold the belt for a while. I don't know who they have in the store for him. I don't know if Joe is going to come up and do something. I don't know if somebody is going to win the Rumble and he's going to face them. I can almost see them starting a storyline with Sami Zayn and him for a couple pay-per-views until they inch their way toward WrestleMania. I can even see them doing something with, and I think the ultimate end case is this is what we're going to see. He's probably going to face Owens at the next. He's probably going to face Rollins again at the next pay-per-view, and he's going to squeak by with the World Championship. And I think the pay-per-view after that is probably going to be Sami Zayn again, probably for like maybe one pay-per-view. And then after that, we're probably going to get the Jericho storyline is going to start to progress. And whether he faces somebody else after that, like probably a Cesaro or a Sheamus, and somehow he squeaks away at the victory. And I don't know if that's going to be a 1 or 2 pay-per-view thing. But by that time, it should be around the Royal Rumble time. And my honest opinion is whoever wins the Royal Rumble, I'm thinking is going to go to SmackDown. And if they do, this is what I thought about, and what made me want to record this video, is that what if Balor comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, shows up on Raw, standing toe-to-toe with Kevin Owens, and Jericho and Owens' feud is like full in effect. The feud is great. They've been building to this. The storyline is great. They've done a lot of great things up until this point. I mean, things that we haven't seen yet. But you can see the slow progression of them building up this friendship on TV, and then you're going to see them break it down as they get to WrestleMania. And I can just see this being a really, really good match. And them going out there at WrestleMania and tearing the house down and giving a tremendous match. A lot of storytelling involved. And I think it kind of is reminiscent of Shawn Michaels and him. But I haven't seen that match, which I want to go watch that match. But I think it's kind of reminiscent of that. And this is what I see happening. Balor being in the ring with Balor. Or Balor being in the ring with Owens. Good God, I botched that. And, the contract thing is always there. Where are you going to go, Raw or SmackDown? And the Raw contract's going to be there. And I see him tearing it up at the end of Raw and leaving people to wonder if he's going to go to SmackDown. And I think that he will. I think he will face the SmackDown World Champion. And I think at the time, it should be AJ Styles. It could be John Cena, but I don't think a Finn Balor-John Cena match is very appealing. I think it would be good to have AJ Styles and Finn Balor. That's what I think. That's what I think would be the ultimate payoff. With that being said, I think that honestly, starting as kind of a thing, leave John Cena off TV for this amount of time. Now you got here's the thing that is going to make people kind of go, well, that's stupid. You got to have a blow-off match because Cena's going to come back. He's going to face AJ Styles for the championship, but is he going to win? And I think that he has to win. But the problem with this is that that's where my thing with Balor and him and AJ facing at WrestleMania, that would kind of be like kind of a deal breaker. But in my eyes, this is just in my mind. Just play this out here. What if Balor goes to WrestleMania and also has another record a record that I haven't seen for a while. And it's the fact that he won the Rumble, goes on to face the world champion, and doesn't win the championship. We haven't seen it happen in a long time. And I think that Balor would be the guy that people would be like, AJ got the best of him. And Balor would go back to Raw. That leaves Cena to face, AJ Styles, get the championship, and start the year off with John Cena as a world champion of SmackDown. A couple pay-per-views into the year, and or into the new season per se. But also, it kind of leads up to the fact that why you should have the draft probably on the second week after WrestleMania, or even like a month, have Extreme Rules or whatever, and then have the draft on the night after that pay-per-view, or the couple weeks after Extreme Rules. I guess you would want to do it anyway. I don't know. It's kind of like, now I think that I don't know. Like, they need to pick a good time to have the draft, like every year. And I don't think they need to do a lot of things in the draft. I mean, some years it's like, just have a few draft picks come up from NXT. They don't have to be major, but they're going to have to do some switching around, But it doesn't have to be major. I mean, really, they don't. They can have one show dedicated to who's getting drafted. But basically, I think what's going to happen is that all the wrestlers get thrown up in the air again every single year, and I think it should happen that they get to redraft with 5 people staying on each brand that they can select. Like, let's say they get 5 people to select that they want to keep on their roster. And Stephanie picks, for example, like, let's say she picks Rollins. Maybe she says like Rollins, Sasha, and Bailey. I would almost know. They would probably say Bailey, Sasha, and some other people. Rollins, Cesaro, maybe. And maybe Kevin Owens, possibly, or Jericho. Probably Jericho. I don't know. But I can see him like letting them do that and then do the big draft, because then you kind of like, they have an opportunity to put those staples into their show, or keep the championships in place. I think that would be interesting. And to be honest, like, I think this next time when they have the draft, I think it'll be a lot better, because the championships that'll probably be a new rule in place that those can't switch hands. Well, I mean, the SmackDown tag and SmackDown women can't really change with the brand, because they had the SmackDown Women's Championship on Raw, so that'd be kind of weird. So those ain't going nowhere. But the fact that they may switch places, and like Natalya may go back to Raw, Carmella may go to Raw, Enzo Cass will stay on Raw, or maybe even Cass goes away. Cass goes to SmackDown and gets a shot at the title, or vice versa, stays on there and splits up with Enzo, and they have a big feud there. And Carmella's with Enzo, and they feud with each other. And it's going to happen sometime down the road. But anyway, let's talk about other things that happened on the show before I fall asleep in the middle of the video. The tag team titles. I don't know. It's going to be odd. I say odd, very odd, with the New Day. I think it's time they drop the belts. I know there's this record thing going on, but if they would do things more entertaining, if they would continue to go on new tag teams, that would be good. But all the new tag teams went to SmackDown. Why didn't you draft Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to SmackDown? You could have had them win the tournament. You could have settled this up and everything. It doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. I think a lot of stuff should have been switched. Alpha should have went to Raw. Gallows and Anderson should have went to SmackDown. Dudley's should have went to SmackDown. They could have feuded with the club, and that would have been one of the feuds to start. They could have gotten a big street fight. They could have had a street fight of Backlash coming up this Sunday. They could have had a lot of things could have went down. That would have probably made the Dudleys happier. But nothing really happened to them. It was stupid. Kalisto's on SmackDown for some reason. I think at some point, I think next year, Kalisto will probably go back to Raw, and he'll probably win the Cruiserweight Championship. Anyways, speaking of the Cruiserweight Championship coming to Raw, a lot of people initially thought some of these people were going to be in a Cruiserweight thing, some of the big names, and they're not, which is surprising. But that doesn't mean that maybe they will come. Here is my thing about this, is that this was probably kind of a last grab to get some of these big names in this tournament. And a lot of these people in the independent scene, they'll book themselves. I mean, I just know this from playing games and stuff. And I'm assuming it's just like real life. And just like scheduling, like you're trying to get into the dentist's office. Like a lot of people want this person, want this dentist, and they're going to schedule him way in advance. So, in my eyes, some of these wrestlers that we're seeing in the Cruiserweight Classic that are really good, like Raul Mendoza and Zack Sabre Jr. and Water here kicked on. That's not a wrestler. And Kota Ibushi, they're probably signed to or scheduled to appear or under contract with another promotion, or just got loyalties to another promotion. And I think that may stop them from coming to the WWE right now. But with that being said, they kind of got their foot in the door. So now it kind of makes it easier that if they have talked to them about coming in, so maybe they just got to finish up their dates or their contract expectations before they come in. And I think that they don't need to sign them all right away anyway. Like, and I think that's what probably should be good with the Cruiserweight Classic is the fact that every year you're going to get probably some new people coming in. And I think that it would be wise for the WWE. And I know they're not going to do this because they're probably not going to do this. But I think it would be wise to keep a few, but the others, you know, kind of recycle them every once in a while. I do think some of them will probably go on and do other things and just become regular wrestlers at some point. Like Gargano and Ciampa are being labeled as cruiserweights, which I think is really stupid because I don't really think they're cruiserweights, in my opinion. When I think of cruiserweights, I don't think about how the Cruiserweight Classic classifies them. I think Grand Metallica's a cruiserweight. I think Tozawa's a cruiserweight. Ooh, sorry. But I don't really see them. I don't even know Tozawa. Tozawa's more of a wrestler, but he's classified as cruiserweight just because he's so small. But I don't really. Yeah, that's kind of like a weird thing, like technical and strong style mixed together and stuff. Those kind of things. It's kind of weird, and they got a mixture of styles that are coming in. But other than that, the women's championship, Bayley debuted. She's doing great. She's getting huge pops. Good God, is she like hot right now? Which makes it kind of weird that Sasha is back and she's going to be at SummerSlam getting a shot at the title again. I almost wonder if Bayley's going to be interjected in that next week and get put in triple threat. Because here's the thing. Bayley is doing this thing. She's hulking up in the ring. She's doing all this stuff. She's super hot. Crowds popping like crazy for her. Why not ride that while you can? And that's where I think Vince is going to see, and he's going to put the belt around Bayley really quick and let her ride that out until nobody wants to cheer for her anymore as champion. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think down the road we're going to see how she loses the strap, I think it's going to be Nia Jax getting involved somehow, and they're going to have like a little a feud to bring her out of the title scene. Is that Charlotte's probably going to get the belt back, or Sasha's going to turn heel and she's going to get the belt back because of Nia Jax. So in some words, kind of surprised Alicia Fox is the one that's going to feud with Nia Jax. Because in my mind, and nobody's even mentioning this chick, by the way, Tamina. She's a big girl. Where is she at? And in my mind, I'm like, well, that's got to be the girl that's going to come out and challenge Nia Jax, because she's the one that can take her on, probably. But now I haven't seen too much of her. So I don't know if she got released. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe she is going to come back, and maybe she is going to be an opponent for Nia Jax at some point. But, yeah. I think that's all. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, they need to end that. I don't know where they're going to go with them from there, but they need to end it. It's not going anywhere. It's not working. Bob Backlund thing is not working with Darren Young. He doesn't need Bob Backlund, in my opinion. I don't think he needed them from the beginning. I think he just needed to have a better story written. How about that? With that being said, let's talk about SmackDown. Before I fall asleep. Oh, real quickly, I'm enjoying the Braun Strowman thing as well. I'm enjoying that. Bo Dallas debuted this week, or came back this week, sort of, because he didn't even want to go away, but he came back and beat a jobber. I do like where they're going with it, so I'm glad to see Braun Strowman going to Sin Cara. I think it was a pretty good match. I thought it was a pretty good thing. I kind of hope they keep the feud going, because I think they can do some good things with it. Surprisingly, it was pretty entertaining, and it got my attention. It wasn't boring at all. I think it was good. I don't know how to tell that story, but I think that they did a good job of what they did. I think they could do more, and can't wait to see it. I gotta get this video over with. All right, it's gonna go over 30 minutes. SmackDown. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, awesome. Love it. Love this week. Love what they do with it. Love the whole kicking the nuts thing by AJ at the end of the SmackDown. Amazing. The women's championship going to be crowned. It's got to be Becky. And the only reason I say this is because of what happened with the tag team tournament. I'm thinking about all the dynamics of how many heels are going to have the belts and how many faces are going to have the belts. I can see AJ winning the belt at Backlash. But I think that would be too many title changes. So I would say that Dean is going to win this time. But there's going to be or maybe AJ wins by count out or DQ or something. Something's going to happen during this match. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if Cena's going to come down and cost Dean the match or what. Something's going to happen. And we're going to see the title change. That's the next pay-per-view. That's what I think. As far as the tag team titles goes, there's no debating it now. Heath Slater and Rhino's going to win the championships now because of what happened this week. Wow. I don't know if anybody's seen that coming. I mean, that's a pretty wild out there. I mean, a lot of people have been saying for a long time, Usos need to turn heel. We've been saying that forever about Roman. Now we just get Roman to turn heel. We'll be fine. And I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. This is kind of like a good thing because now you get the Usos turning heel, and they're going to see the reaction that people got to that. Think about this. A major tag team. Roman is a major guy. They're going to be on the same brand next year. Why would you want them both to not be the same alignment? Because it's like a built-in six-man tag. Like, wherever they go, they're on the same show. So, maybe Roman's going to turn heel. Maybe. Maybe Rusev is going to be a good guy. I'm waiting for it to happen because people want to cheer Rusev, I think, so bad. But he's doing the whole Russian thing, and people are like, boo, all the time because they want to boo. They want to boo, that kind of stuff. Finally, you went off. It's getting kind of cold. Probably going to go to bed soon. I don't want this review to go super long, but it's going to go over 30 minutes. I apologize for how long it is. If you made it through all this, good God, you deserve a cookie. Maybe even 3. What else is there? Milkman last week. What the hell on SmackDown? That's all I'm saying. Heath Slater really entertaining. I'm really in getting into the Heath Slater thing. I liked him before. I liked him when he was doing the whole thing where he was losing the legends, and then they went nowhere with it after that. I'm not a whole fan of the whole shtick thing. I think he could have did something that didn't require that. Really, just saying. And then, oh, by the way, I better get my predictions for the titles. Dean's gonna return. I think Becky's going to win, and like I said, it's because there's going to be a bunch of championships change hands. But here's why: Becky's going to win because she's a babyface. Okay, get that. American Alpha's not going to win because they got hurt really bad by the Usos, who turned heel, which was an awesome thing to do. That's where I was getting to. But you're going to have a Heath and Rhino win tag straps. Now, technically, they're going to be heels. But hear me out. They're probably going to drop the belts to the Usos. That's what I see. They're probably going to drop the belts to the Usos. Alpha's going to probably take some time off. And it's probably going to be for storyline purposes. Even if it's just for like a week or a couple weeks, just take them off TV. Maybe take them off TV completely for 1 week. The second week, maybe do like a via satellite from home and act like they're going to be back next week. They just had to take a couple weeks off because of maybe they just say Usos made them pull a muscle or some shit. I don't know, or hurt them bad and they had to take some time off, but they're going to be back next week and they want to challenge Usos, whatever. But then what would happen would be they would have a number one contenders match. And had the Hype Brothers involved possibly too. And Usos and American Alpha. Now you can even go to the point to where if you really wanted to make the feud between Usos and American Alpha really good is have the Usos take out American Alpha again and put them on the shelf for another month and really build this up. And I think they should. I think they should really build it up and then have the Usos beat Slater and Rhino for the belts. And Slater goes off and do something else. Or keep the belts on Slater and Rhino. Have them somehow squeak out with a win or have American Alpha show up at the pay-per-view and cost them the belts. I think that would be awesome. So that's what I would like to see. And the whole reason because of Dean Ambrose is I think that AJ will either win it on SmackDown or he'll win it some other way. Or he'll win it at the next pay-per-view, whatever it is. Other than that, there ain't really much else to talk about, I don't think. Kane did a little squash match the last 2 weeks on SmackDown. I think I'm blanking on. There may be some topical videos I came up with that I may be doing here in the next few days. I've been kind of just like kind of blah, not wanting to record much of anything. I've been lazy on my other channels too, so I don't think there's no other channel. I just really haven't been feeling like recording lately. Just kind of took a break. I know I kind of took a break a while back, but sorry. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'm going to get off here and I'm going to go to bed. Super tired. I work weird shifts. I'm off today, but you know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below what you think about what I talked about, and also let me know what you thought about the last couple weeks of Raw and SmackDown State of the Wrestling. I like the way I'm doing this. I had to go super long this week because I didn't talk about a couple weeks, so I'm trying to get this going on a weekly basis, but just trying to get a recording schedule down once again. I thought some different things were going to happen, but it turned out that everything was okay, so nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. But it involves my wife, in her job. That's all I'm going to say. Wasn't sure what was going to happen, but now everything's hunky dory, and she's back at work, and whatever. You kind of figure it out for yourself. What was going to happen? But I had to figure out if I was going to be able to record or not, and well, that's what happened. 35 minutes. Sorry I went that long. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and keep on rocking and keep on watching wrestling.